Hi guys, welcome back and thanks so much for joining me today. I think this is going to be my first one-page wonder of 2025 and I'm super excited to show you this one. I love the size, you guys, and it is so easy to make. You do have to, I guess, make sure your measurements are spot on, or else it might look a little bit different. But I'll show you my little sampler that I made. This is the one. I like to make samplers when I'm doing this type of work so that in the future I remember, you know, the different ways I've put one together. And so I'm going to show you how to make it after I show you what I've done, and then I'll chat a little bit about the choices I made with pockets and things like that. So to start off, what did I want to start off with? Yes, I have used a 12 by 12 sheet of paper to put this together for the base, but then all the other ephemera pieces are from Making and Creating with Digital Collage Club. And I do have a couple pieces that are not from there, like the butterfly and this little washi tape sticker are not from their collection. And then I think I have something from a flow book as well, but I will point those out. Besides that, it is definitely all from Making and Creating with Digital Collage Club. And if you guys are members of the club, then you'll see they've got some new items in the shop right now. They usually upload new digitals weekly, and you can have access to anything they've shared in the past. And there's tutorials that go with a lot of the items that you'll see. And as I said, I have discount codes in the video description. All right, so to get started, you see how cute the size turns out. I absolutely love this. Perfect for sending in the mail. I kept it as flat as I could, but depending on how you embellish it, then of course, you know, you could do so much more. I'm not sure I like the closure. I have to be honest. I was trying different things, and yeah, I'm not sure I like the closure. So obviously closures is something you can decide to do, you know, yourself. So you open it up and you've got a little pocket at the top and a little belly band on the bottom here. This is the flow book ephemera piece that I mentioned. I don't have many things that are not with the digital collection. So it has many flips, pockets, and that sort of thing. I'll start with the bottom here. It has a nice pocket on the top here. Again, this is from that flow book. And then it has two pockets on either side. So you have a pocket here, and you have a pocket as well on this side. So there's two pockets, and then there's also the center pocket. I'll just leave that there because I don't want to try and tuck it in now. The center as well has a little tuck, and I love these little postcards from the collection, and this is also from their collections, and this is part of their new Valentine's collection as well. I thought I would mention that. So you've got your tuck spot here, and then you open it up. You've got more ephemera from their collections. I've used various collections from their shop. This is the way that this worked out. The paper that I was using to make this just happened to have kind of like a neutral background. On this side, we've got a little tuck spot, and this is so cute. I love the little mailbox, again, part of their Valentine's collection. And then you have a little pocket here. Again, this is from their latest one. And so is the little paper. I made a little booklet that I can journal in. I love the ephemera pieces that have like inspirational wordings on them. And then the center, I made a belly band. And again, the little design here is from the latest collection, and this is from a past Valentine's Day collection. I thought this would be so cute, of course, to share in the mail with friends. And of course, you can make it with anything you have, and also, you know, any kind of theme that you want. So that's it. The thing that changes is how you add your pockets. And I did get the inspiration to make this from This was a few years back from Melina Pylant. I had kind of, I'll show you how I kind of start my whole process. I start by kind of cutting out all my pieces and then making a plain one and then decorating one. And then this is how I like to keep track of the projects that, you know, that I make that inspire me, but also the process and steps that I take to make it. So the original one that that she shared is completely flat, so there is no, I hope you can see it. I made like a little gusset on the bottom and the top because I figure if I add more like a thicker ephemera, then I may need the room. So I did change it slightly, but it won't make much of a difference from what I'm going to show you. I will link her channel below, of course. I don't remember when that video was posted, but I know I wrote everything down when I was kind of making mine and where I got the inspiration. So let me show you how we make it, and then I'll talk you through what I did to add all the different pockets. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to let me know that you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment below. If you are a subscriber of mine, I have a giveaway right now on my channel. If you haven't seen that video, I will also link it below. And yeah, check out the Making and Creating with Digital Collage Club, and you'll get to, if you're not a member, I'll give you the code to get a discount, and you'll have a large amount of digitals that you can use if you love to print things out. Again, you don't have to use anything that I'm showing you. You can make it your own. All right, let me show you how to make it. Okay, so for the base, I'm using this single-sided 12 by 12 sheet of paper. I don't think I'll use it for anything else, and so I like to use these papers and, you know, make something new out of them. So you're going to cut 5 inches from the paper, so it will still be 5 by 12. And we'll start our scoring. So the first score line is going to be at, and I'm going to put it on the screen because I know I'm going to mess up the wording. So you can see here, one line just before the 4 inches, and then at 4 inches, and then 8 inches, and just a line right after 8 inches. All right, and then you can see how I'm making the little gusset. I think that's what it's called. To give it a little extra room for adding ephemera. If I want to add something a little bit more bulky, then it's got a little bit of room to do that. So I will be covering up most of it, as you've seen already, so that I don't see a lot of the design, but I wanted to use it as my background. All right, so our next large piece that we have left, we're going to cut 2 pieces from here that are 3 7/8, I believe. Okay, so we're cutting 2 pieces that are 3 7/8, and they work out to be 3 7/8 by 7. And they're going to be the pieces that we use as our fold out. I almost took out my scoreboard here, but I know I need to do some more scoring. So the 2 pieces that we just cut, if you have directional paper, then make sure you keep an eye out on that when you're doing your score line. We're going to score it our 2.5. I did want to point out my little tool. A lot of people ask me about it, and I do have it linked in my Amazon shop. I find that it's much more helpful than the one that it came with, so I use this for every type of score. All right, so we have scored both sheets at 2.5. Again, remember your design. If you are going to be using your paper a certain way, then wait to see how I add this so you can decide where you want to score your 2.5 inches on your paper. So I'm trying to decide which one is going to be my top and my bottom. So my bottom flip out and my top flap there, and I think I'm keeping this on the top. And so we're going to cut just a little bit off of that top, so it kind of looks more like an envelope than, you know, if we kept the whole piece together. Now, I'm kind of eyeballing, I guess I should have kept the page and I should have turned it the other way, but I'm kind of eyeballing cutting off like maybe an inch That's sort of what we're doing. It doesn't really matter how much you cut off from this portion here, but I think an inch is it kind of makes more sense. You can see here, when I fold it down, you've got your little flap, and we're going to use every little piece that we cut from this collection or this paper. All right, so we've got our little 2 pieces that we scored previously on, and I'm going to add glue to the small fold. This is the glue I like to use. People usually ask me, and I also have it linked below if you're interested. I find that this glue does not warp my pages. It actually glues really well, and it adheres really, really well. I've been using this forever. All right, so we're going to take our small flap and attach it between our 2 score lines. So you'll see that we've got 4 score lines here, but I'm attaching it right in the center between the 2. All right, making sure it adheres. And this is how we end up with our little flip out. And then we're going to add the next one. Again, I'm adding glue to the small fold. And we're going to be attaching this to our center, again, between the 2 score lines. I think my favorite part of this is the bottom pocket. And also, after I did this a few times, I realized I could have maybe just taken off a little bit more from this small little fold in the center and then used it up for something else, but that's for a different project. All right, so we've got our little folds here. I'm just making sure they're somewhat even. I think I'm going to use this as my top flap. And then you can see here how it's taking shape. So I'm going to do a little bit of rounding my corners. But after I finished doing this, I kind of, realized I should have waited until I kind of finished adding my pockets, particularly for this one, because I did something a little different on the top flaps here, and I think it would have made more sense to just keep them square. But anyways, like I said, just kind of watch what I do and then decide what you want to do after. So here I'm just taking a little bit from this flip out and just folding it over to make that little pocket on the side. You could do that with both of these flip outs, but I only decided to do it with the one as I showed you when I was showing you the finished project. And I want to mention again, I kept the back of this paper white because I wanted you to see the difference of the colors when we're folding things and, where things are going. Because I find sometimes if I use double-sided paper, it's hard to see where folds are and where I'm gluing things on. All right, so we're taking this little piece that we cut off from the top and we're just going to make it into a little pocket. And so again, if you've got a certain directional design, then you can just be careful where you're adding your glue to, making your pocket face up. But it really didn't matter too much here. So I'm adding my little pocket just above that first score line that we did. All right, so you don't want to glue over in between the 2 score lines because then this won't fold over. So make sure that you're adding it just above that score line. You can see here it's got some little room where we left our little space there. So we've got our tuck spot there. And now we're going to take our other piece that we have left over and cut it to size to make our additional pockets. All right, so our smallest little pocket is going to be 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. All right, so I'm going to cut the piece here. I'm just making sure I'm doing it correctly. So this one is 4 3/4, and then we're cutting at 3 3/4. Okay, so we're left with 2 additional pieces, which we will use. And this is where I mentioned I should have left it kind of square at the bottom, but that's okay, we fix it. So this is going to be our little bottom pockets. We basically fold it in half. I'm not going to use my scoreboard for this. So we're just folding it in half. And then we're going to add our little notches to show that it is a little pocket. And we're just going to be gluing it center here. And I'm just trying to decide which direction I want this, but it doesn't matter because at the end I end up covering it up. So I've got my little bottom here that I rounded just to kind of match the bottom flap. And again, when we glue this down, we have to make sure we don't glue above our score line. So take our little round circle here and just make a little notch. You don't need to do this. This is just, I think it's just nice to kind of see that there is a little pocket there, but again, it's not necessary. And now we'll be adding glue to have our pocket glued down. I hope you're enjoying this tutorial, my friends. As I mentioned, I have lots of one-page wonder tutorials on my channel. I love making these, especially when I'm sharing them with friends in my snail mail. If you want to take part of my snail mail pals, check out the video that I will link below. Oh, I almost glued this upside down here. So I just added glue to the center and then to one side of the pocket so that that adheres, and then I'll be adding glue to the other side here so that I know that I've made sure to make it even on either side. So I'm adding glue top and bottom. I've already added glue to the center of the fold, and this is what's going to keep our little pockets from kind of meeting each other in the center, that we added glue to the center of it. And this, I'll eventually make it into the little belly band I showed you, but I do end up covering up that center, and I'll show you that at the end here. Now this little part we have left over, it's a little piece. You can make it a pocket, like a full pocket, anywhere you want. All right, so this can be added as a pocket anywhere. As you know, we've got little pockets here, the top one, and then the one on the left. So it's up to you wherever you want to add this little piece. But the way I added it is I made 2 pockets from this one little piece after deciding I didn't want to do another kind of tuck spot on the side or on the other flap. So again, all we do is we fold this in half. And this is what I was saying before. I shouldn't have rounded the edges of my little flap here because it would have made it easier to add my little pocket if it was squared. I guess it wouldn't have mattered if I covered it up. But anyways, I tucked it over as far as I could to the inside edge here. And I'm adding glue again to 3 sides to make my little pocket. This way I know it's going to adhere properly to my little flap. So now we've got a little pocket on the front flap here, and then I'm going to do the same, glue the inside of it to make the additional little pocket on the inside. And really, I think that's it, you guys, with the exception of I added the piece of digital paper on the center, and then all my ephemera that came from making and creating in Digital Collage Club. I think it just turned out so cute. And there it is. This is our base page that you can decorate and add your closure however you want. And as I mentioned, we do end up using this piece where I showed you how I put it in the end on the center. Okay, so from the blank, the base page that we just made, on the bottom flip, I added a piece of ephemera to make a belly band. So you can easily, make pockets or do whatever you want, or leave it without anything on the front. That's up to you. The other thing I did is at the bottom where we made the original pockets, I did add a piece of their latest paper collection to make an additional tuck spot on the top. Again, you have so much flexibility with this piece here because it's blank. The only things you have made is the pockets that go side to side, like this and this pocket, right? And then we've got this flip out here that we did. I did add another piece of their ephemera to make a little tuck spot. I thought this would be nice for, you know, adding a little quote or something that you wanted to make a note of. And I added the little ephemera piece from their collection to this corner. And then I added this little sticker, Valentine's Day sticker. I think this is a Martha Stewart sticker set that I have. It's so old. I had to glue down the sticker because it wasn't sticking anymore. So that's for the pocket here. And also I did leave it blank, like the white space on the inside, so you could see, you know, where all the things are. Because if I use double-sided paper, I found that it might be difficult for you to see where all the score lines are and that kind of thing. So anyways, the center, as you know, I said we did the little piece we had left of the paper we cut from the collection. I showed you that tiny little spot is where I made the belly band. And then again, I added another little piece of the ephemera in the center. So you can see this, you can make it whatever you want, you know, fold it however works for you, make more pockets if you want to, but it is so cute and I love the size and how it turned out. So thank you so much for joining me, my friends. Don't forget to check out my playlist for more one-page wonders. I also have two-page wonders that I started. I'll come back with more tutorials and craft with me videos. Thank you so much for your support with my channel and my shop. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for stopping by.